Hey, welcome to Christmas Cheer number 18 on the 19th. And we are on number 4 of 5, reading Maggie's Christmas Angel. So, if you haven't heard any of Maggie's Christmas Angel, then you have to go back to the other videos, back to the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3, because this one's number 4. All right, you ready? Because we're just moving forward. So now this is Ted speaking, I will tell you that. After he'd already yelled at Maggie, right? Sorry, I am giving you some back history there. Doesn't want to go to church. Not religious. She wants to, that's fine. He watched as the light in her eyes seemed to dim. It flickered, but then suddenly shone brighter than ever before. And before she spoke, he somehow knew she was not going to back down on this. He also sensed this was something Maggie needed more than his need to be left alone. Before she had a chance to rebuke him, Ted spoke again. Okay, Maggie, I don't know what's going on, but I'm probably not being fair. And you've always been more than fair to us and all of our projects. So I'm willing to go along with this idea for at least a while. But I'm not sure how long I can keep it up. I'll agree to go to church until after Christmas. Maggie gave Ted a giant hug and laughed out loud. She kissed his cheek and turned as the children entered the house. Seeing their dad on the couch, Jeff and Kelly glanced at each other. This was important stuff if Dad was called away from his computer. Hopefully, whatever it was wouldn't take too long. They both had plans to meet with their friends. Settling down on the floor, Jeff and Kelly glanced at their father. He shrugged his shoulders and looked up at Maggie. Maggie took a deep breath, squared her shoulders, and began to speak. Well, Kelly, Maggie said as she smiled at her daughter, I'm sure that by now your brother has told you about my outburst yesterday. He probably said I'm losing my mind, going off the deep end. I know what I'm going to tell you will make me sound even crazier. But I can assure you what I'm going to say is not the ravings of a crazy woman. But I also want you to know I am completely serious. Looking at her family, Maggie remembered the angel and felt that warm rush of peace. Angel, she spoke in the silence of her heart, you better be with me on this. I'm sure I can't do it on my own. Somehow, Maggie heard an affirming voice and felt her confidence increase. She gave the kids a hug and sat down next to Ted on the couch. Okay, here goes. I've been thinking about Christmas and what it means. I don't think we've ever really celebrated it the way it should be. So I've come up with a list of activities I used to do during Advent when I was growing up. Starting today, we're going to put Christ back into Christmas and into our daily lives. Of course, I know we've never even taken you to church, so this is all brand new. I just feel our lives are missing some very important ingredient, and I'm hoping this will be the added spice necessary to put a little more depth and meaning into them. What? Mom, what are you talking about? We have the best lives ever. If we had to spend Sunday going to church, we'd miss our friends and our free time. Why do you think we need to change things? You go if you want to, but I don't want to go to some boring church on the weekend. It's my time, Jeff explained. Kelly looked at her mom and slowly shook her head. Mom, it's not cool to go to church. Only uncool kids go sit in church. I'm not going to be caught dead going into a church. That's it, Mom, no way. Maggie stared at Jeff and Kelly. And then suddenly she seemed to turn towards the wall and look up at the curtain rod. She was even talking to it. Then She gathered herself up from the couch and gazed directly back at the children. There is to be no debate on this issue. In addition to church, we're going to add some new traditions to our holidays. These are traditions from my childhood. I'd almost forgotten about them until today. Come on into the dining room with me. Staring at Maggie's back, her family looked at each other. Ted raised a finger to his lips and gestured for them to follow their mom. Whispering to them as they walked, he said, "Okay, listen up to Mom. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I think it's important. Let's go along with it." I mean, she's always supported us, right? Well, both Kelly and Jeff had to agree that she had. Reluctantly, they headed for the dining room. As they walked into the room, their eyes widened in surprise as they surveyed the objects laid out on the table. Such a dazzling array of ornaments and Christmas decorations. But these weren't their old familiar ones. "Mom, where did these come from? Oh my gosh, look, Jeff, it's a little Cupid. And this one? They're so beautiful." Maggie's eyes gleamed with delight as everyone examined her offering. Her eyes twinkled as she remembered how much joy these ornaments had brought to her as a child. But she'd packed them away in a corner of the garage, reluctant to use them. She'd been afraid of breaking her precious ornaments. And now, as the children looked at these beautiful, beautiful ornaments, she realized she and they had been missing out on the past and memories of previous Christmases. Okay, there we go. Number 4 of 5. Tune in tomorrow for the last installment of Maggie's Christmas Angel. And have a great night. See you later.